But anyway, that's the Dead Campers. This is my iPad, and yeah, everything's kind of doesn't seem to be working very well for me today. My computer is 71% up on its updates right now. It's been updating for almost 2 hours now. Instead of 3 a.m., it decided to do it at 3 p.m. So here we are. And I finally had given up and downloaded this onto my iPad. So at least we can get out there. I'm at 71% right now on my updates, and it says this will still take a while. So yeah. So anyway, hope everybody's having a great day. I I am thoroughly enjoying myself. This is the Dead Campers, by the way. If you can't see this, that's what it looks like on Spotify or YouTube. You can check them out. Again, if you're out in the Bay Area, Santa Cruz area, Central Coast, they're playing all over those areas. So if you can, go check them out. Or definitely subscribe and like them on the pages there. Um, Absolutely favorite band, obviously. And this is our theme song here on the Random Kristian Show. Where today we're going to be talking about, what sets you off, what makes you go nuts, um, which would be this computer right here, right now. Um, that is, yeah, that's how it's rolling. And I don't know. I've been talking to everybody on text, trying to get them to be able to join in, but apparently that doesn't happen. So hopefully I'm broadcasting and you're hearing me, and all's going well. Maybe. Oh, hey, maybe the computer will be working here in a second. I mean, that would make sense now that I've gotten all this working. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. So it is the Thursday edition, and ironically, my 13th episode of the second season was Tuesday, but now today is the 14th. So I guess 13 isn't such an unlucky number after all. It never has been for me, but apparently 14 is my unlucky number. So we're going to go from that. And I'm actually going to try and maybe just pull Matt up on the phone here, and maybe we can, we'll do Matt and Brian here and see if we can get them on the phone. How's that sound? All right. So I'm going to call Matt and bring Matt up just vocally, and we'll have him on. And Joe is hopefully going to be on here as well. So we'll just do everybody through the phones. Oh, sure. Now it's like updating super fast. And we'll see if we can get him on here.
Hey.
Hey, Matt, it's Chris in the Random Kristian Show, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, I suppose.
Hey, can you see me on here? Because I'm live right now, and so are you.
It's funny. So I can see you live on YouTube. You're streaming on YouTube. Is that cool?
I hope so. I hope I'm on Facebook Live as well, and Twitter.
Well, I wouldn't know about that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, hey, I can see. There's Brian. Brian just joined in. I got Brian.
Awesome.
Let me tap in Brian here.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey, there he is.
Hey,
all right.
Brian?
I got Matt on the phone here because it's apparently not letting him link in.
Yeah, I tried it on my phone. I was going to be really cool, and I was going to go hop in my bug and do my little shtick from there, and I kept getting that same message saying that the it works best from the desktop, but it didn't say that you wouldn't have any support on a phone, but that's what they meant apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by best, it means it's the only way it's going to work.
Right.
So
No
yeah,
choice.
I've been running into the same problem because right now my phone is still on 86%, or my computer is still on 80% update, and so yeah, good times. So Matt, hang on because I'm going to try and tag Joe in on the phone here as well because he wanted to join in.
Okay.
So
I'm actually in the middle of a video game with my wife. So.
oh well, then if you want to tag out, that's cool. And we're going to call Joe right now. So hey, this is what live entertainment's all about, folks. The suspense is killing us all. Will Joe answer the phone, or will he not? And I know Joe goes to bed fairly early because he works early in the morning.
What chapter are we on in reading?
And I don't think we're going to get Joe.
The Kingdoms and Conquerors?
Joe, are
I
you
have to
there?
go get the book.
Ah,
Because
no.
I need to know what
Joe.
chapter we're in to actually play the chapter.
So, anyway, and did we lose Matt? I think we lost Matt. So
Wow, that's rough,
yeah,
man.
this is the adventure I've been dealing with for the past 2 hours, dude. It's kind of crazy, but you know, hopefully Matt, let me see if I can get Matt to FaceTime us, and we'll do it that way. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you guys are getting ready for a big storm. What's up, dude?
I don't know. I mean, it's you never know. I mean, these guys are always like, you know, how much this, how much that, and it's just you never know, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I've heard 4 feet, and then I've heard a foot, and then I've heard 3 feet of snow. So either way, you know, it is what it is. And Matt's eating crackers, just so you know. They're delicious.
There you go.
So yeah, so this is live. Here we are. And well, thanks everybody for joining in and making yourselves available. I they are export soda crackers, by the way, just for Keebler export soda crackers. They're awesome, apparently, and quite delicious.
Oh yeah.
So my whole topic for today was how to hold on, Matt. What do you send? I can't see it because it's too much for my phone, apparently. Oh no, there it goes. Colorado meteorologist.
It says anywhere from 0 to 140 inches. Could start at 5, 6, 7, or 8 o'clock. Maybe tomorrow, maybe today. Temperature maybe 0, maybe 80.
Nice, dude. That's yeah. That's pretty much any weather, man. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
That's what we had going today, or last couple days.
oh, there's Joe. Hey, Joe got on.
Oh, cool.
Let's bring Joe in. There he is. Joe, can you hear us?
Oh, that was real brief. I saw him. It looked like his picture was frozen.
Oh God, I love technology. Well, hey, at least we got this. So yeah, good times. My whole thing was what makes you go to the dark place? What is the one thing that just triggers you where you go beyond and you're out, you know? It's like this is now me. And so because
when my wife is mad at me. when my wife is mad at me.
That's what triggers you. You're like, okay, now I'm pissed. Everybody's pissed.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's more of a I just want to run and hide.
Right?
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
I can. Chris looks like he's frozen now. Hi, Joe. I'm Brian.
Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Doing great.
Chilling,
I think
chilling.
Chris is frozen, so maybe you and I ought to just, talk
Yeah,
about ourselves until
what was y'all talking about on here?
we were just laughing about all the technology glitches that were causing this show to start up. And so we were just kind of laughing about the technology. And then Chris had just asked us what causes you to go to that, run and retreat place where you just don't want to be around people. And I was saying when my wife is mad at me, and of course I freely admit that half the time it's because I've done something that's warranted.
Yeah. I think I'm right along with you, man. I say when people how can I say? I say like when it be like the obvious stuff and people are so naive to the facts, that really gets up to me to where I just be like, you know what? I need like 30 minutes to go chill or a day or so, yeah. And man, people don't be thinking. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where's Kristen fell
Oh,
off
Chris
though?
dropped out completely, didn't he?
He's back.
Okay. Oh, there's been a software error. I need to like
Well, say goodbye to everybody. Matt's chat. Go.
What's up, man? Chris got all the glitches today.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is
You hear
crazy.
me?
I can hear you now, but it's sort of like you keep coming in and going out, and then your video is just freeze, go for 10 seconds or not, a couple of seconds, and then goes again.
Yeah, you doing the robot.
The super slow-mo robot.
The super slow-mo robot, right.
Say hi to everybody. You got the only crew right. Or like you freeze, then he freezes, then you freeze, then he freezes.
Nah, it's on you, big guy.
Yeah,
It's on you, man, because is it Joe or Ray? I apologize.
Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, because Joe and I we're having no problem seeing each other or any movement, or talking to
Right.
each other.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
enjoy.
That's right. That's what you get for living in the sticks, brother.
Right. Come on out to the city, man. Oh man, that's
Oh, it's all good, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty bad,
like
isn't
I said,
it?
I know. Oh, hey.
Well, Chris, why don't you just ask some questions and have us just respond, and then when you get back online or whatever hiccup happens, we'll have already created a show for you.
right.
Right. Well, the whole thing was, what is the one thing that takes you to the bad place? What triggers you to where you're just like, here we go. Here's
Oh man, this is bad.
Oh man. All right. What gets me to that place though? Like I said, just pure stupidity, man. Like just pure stupidity. Like people just being naive to just the
bad.
facts. Is he talking? He has a
He may have
delay.
been he may have been talking like 2 minutes ago. We're finally getting the
Right.
little bits and pieces.
Right. Yeah, we having technical difficulties today. Might have to we might have to switch computers or something. He's still
Yeah,
stuck.
I actually think that he's using his phone today because of his computers in some sort of mandatory update mode. Mine did that
Yeah,
last
yeah.
night. It did a mandatory update, and man, I got hosed. I lost a whole bunch of stuff that was still open that I had not hit save on. So
Yeah.
bad on me. See, that puts me in
So
a bad place.
so what is it? So what is it? Like all the computers got a specific date that they all just say, "Hey, we all gonna reset and screw everybody over at the same time."
Probably. I mean, it's but mine's a Microsoft piece of junk, so I'm sure that's part of it.
Heck yeah, make you want to do something to make you want to go buy a new computer. So it's already put in the system. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know how that
exactly.
go.
So Joe, Chris was talking about. Are you the one that does the investing and money stuff?
Yeah, man. I'm really into penny stocks, really, man. And
Okay,
uh, and when I say penny stocks, because more of the time when people think of penny stocks, they actually think of like 1 cent or like a dollar amount, or like yeah, or a dollar. Me personally, I would do hundreds to thousands of a penny in stocks. So yeah, the stocks I buy are not even worth the penny, but the small yeah, but like the small increases that it makes, it brings a lot of revenue.
yeah. Well, that's kind
It
of cool.
brings a lot.
Is that something you just do? Is that like a personal thing that you do, or do you
Yeah,
do it
yeah, yeah.
for others as well?
I do it personally now. I mean, eventually down the line, that's like a goal of mine that I would want to do, like start a hedge fund in a sense. But yeah, for right now, just something that I do on the side that I want to eventually do full time. But yeah, man, I just like the fact that like
Right on.
I just like the fact that like you can buy so much quantity for for a low amount. So like for $1, or again, a perfect example of so like a hundredth of a penny. If you spend $3 for that stock, you'll get 30,000 shares of that stock. So like yeah, when you do the
Right.
numbers, I like to get the more for my dollar. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, for each dollar that is.
That makes sense.
Heck yeah, man. And like I said, when you invest that small, like the littlest increases like gains the most revenue, and that's what I love about it, man. Like it's just easy money. And I'm trying to learn about stock dividends right now, like how they pay out. A lot of them pay out monthly, quarterly, semi-quarterly. So yeah, I want to learn that too, because that's like guaranteed money.
Yeah, like it's an income stream.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the more income streams, the better.
Always. I agree with
Heck
you.
yeah, heck yeah, man. But than that though, yeah, the Random Christian show, man. Like without Chris on here, man, this is what's
Right.
going
Well,
on.
he'll wake up after all the data's done, and we'll have created a show for him. I mean,
Right,
why not, right? Uh,
right. So
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 are
what's
you?
the
I was just.
go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I'm about to say so like what's the type of music your favorite rock band all time?
Oh man, that's hard to say. But so I'm like Christian. I'm kind of I'm later in life in terms of I'm in my 50s,
Uh huh.
and so he and I both love kind of that mid 80s like Police and Specials and kind of that mix of ska and rock kind of stuff.
Okay, okay.
And so I mean, you know what ska music is?
Nah, explain that.
Okay, so ska music is it comes from Jamaica. It's kind of a danceable reggae, and then
Okay.
back in the 80s, there was a whole group of English bands that kind of did a revival of it, and they kind of mixed it with a little bit of a punk attitude, and
Okay.
so it's really kind of high energy. Talks a lot about social issues and politics and all that kind of stuff, but really really fun stuff.
That's what's
And
up.
yeah, it's kind of got a little bit of a it kind of has like early rap in it,
Yeah.
so
Kind of like a
it's
spoken word, like poem in a sense. Like what type of
a lit
format?
no, it's like I mean, just imagine Bob Marley played. The whole point of the episode was what pisses you off? What makes you go absolutely bat bonkers
crazy out of your mind nutso. And yeah, for me, it's when my computer and electronic equipment don't work, and I'm trying to do stuff like, you know, entertain you. So in the whole process of it all, I've lost my 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 crowd that likes to hang with us and have fun. Um, anyway, I keep checking to see if anybody's responded back and seeing if they want to try and join in. But yeah, looks like it's pretty much just me. And hold on. Now Matt's being a real sarcastic bud. He's just like, "Hey, cool, glad it works." Uh, anybody to join in? So yeah, and anyway, and then of course Joe. I don't know. I'm live now. Anyway, so I've got the chat up here. Again, you're on YouTube, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, wherever you're coming in from. Go ahead and chat me your thoughts here about what makes you go over the edge. What is that one thing that just you're like, okay, you're done because I'm coming at you like a freight train right into a wall, and you're going down, buddy. Tell me what it is that triggers you. I don't know, like I said, for me, it's a lot of the you know, incompetencies in life. The things that are, and of course I learned to accept the fact. And thank you, Donnie Champion and friends from the Dead Campers there. Uh, you know, when I run into the point of you know, just the like I said, the incompetencies, the things where you know, and I know there's some things that seem simple to me, not so simple to others, but for the most part, I've really learned to dial that in. But it's, you know, just common sense. When people don't use common sense, that really makes me go bonkers. And common decency, you know, for just it's like, man, you know, you when okay, you call a company and they're like, hello, hmm, well, I'm sure glad I give you my business. Or you can just tell the other person on the line is just like, ah, I got about 5 more minutes, but and, yeah, I'm out. So you can sit here and tell me all you want. I'm going to tell you, oh, there's some kind of technical problem, and someone will have to get back to you. Click. Oh, we must have lost connection somehow, some way. Sorry. Um, yeah, things like that. But really, the more common sense things. And by the way, hey, and by the way, there's Brian. Brian, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Yep, I'm fighting it all, man. Making it work. Technology will
Oh,
not get me down, man.
that's right. You can't bring me down. Just like suicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'll
All I
pull that
wanted
up here
was
in
a
a minute.
Pepsi, man. There you go.
All I wanted was good internet connection and chicken poop lip junk. That's right, out of Wichita, Kansas. They're gonna sponsor us eventually someday, I swear. So I was just talking about, you know, things that, you know, what sets you off, what triggers you. I was talking about when people just don't use common sense. That's like my biggest pet peeve. That's the one thing or common decency, you know. That's the one thing that just really fires me off. It's like, come on, man, it's not that hard. Even halfway polite, you know, or just use half your brain, you know. What's what's something where it puts Brian into it's bad day mood?
Um, I think, like you say, I mean, it's when people are kind of being a little bit outside of the logic chain. I mean, it's just, earlier today, we were talking a little bit about just an automotive technical issue, whatever, and some guy made a comment, and people kind of pounced on him because his comment was just, I mean, it was pointless. And so he got all mad at the people that commented back saying, well, this is what I said. How come you guys didn't read? And it was basically, for people who live full time in an RV. And
Oh, okay.
the guy was like, well, just wait until you're not in the RV. And we're like, dude, the guy lives in it full time. How does he wait? How does he wait till then? He already is home. It's not like he can wait till he goes home. Anyway, it
I
was
was gonna
just,
say,
you know, you just kind of scratch your head and go, really? Did you really just go there? So anyway, I just thought that was one of a good recent example.
yeah, I mean, first off, especially okay in this modern age, the texting thing. Okay, one, I think people tend to overread into a text message because you again,
Yeah.
there's you can't put you oh, what's the word I'm looking, the emphasis or what oh, there's a word for it.
That you can't read tone into it that well.
Yes, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, excellent. Yeah, because you can't read, yeah, and even if somebody's saying something sarcastic, you sit there and you read it, but it just comes across like this because that's how it reads, and and then in your head you decipher it the way you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah, it's more reflective of them than it is of you.
and yeah, and so those kind of things are just they always just drive me, so it's like, okay, come on guys, now let's just reel it in just for a minute, and you see people reply back all the time, well, what's that supposed to mean, and you see it on posts and things like that, and it's like, you just kind of sit there and go, and just take a minute and absorb it all, and then maybe reply, but then you get these
Right.
people who just they have to reply right back because, oh well, you're going to be like that, and you just, come on, man, sit and think for just a moment, read into it, and maybe reply back with a question, are you saying that this is whatever, and get a little clarity before you respond. But yeah, no, yeah, those kinds of things that just drives me up a wall. The snap jerk replies, and you know, I mean, people, okay, like then you're driving, okay, you're driving along, and I know we all do it, but the lack of turn signals and stuff like that. Now, if you're on a big open interstate or something and there's not a lot of traffic around you, and you're just kind of cruising through, maybe going a little faster than the rest of the crowd, and
Who
you
would
kind
do
of,
such a thing?
I don't know, I never have within the past 10 minutes. But you know, uh, I am just because it's the way I am. I always turn a blinker on. I'm hell half the time when there's nobody around. I turn a blinker on because I'm just that way. But
Yeah, you got the
uh,
habit.
yeah, but like I say, when you're in traffic and you see these guys that are doing the weaving in and out and stuff like that, and so yeah, I got suicidal on, by the way. I don't know if you can hear it. Um, but and they're just like sitting there weaving. It's like, dude, at least throw on a blinker saying, "Hey, I'm coming over this way." Instead, they just right in front of you. It's like there's nobody around. Why do you got to jump right in front of me to get back in that lane? You can at least go a couple car lengths, then jot over. Maybe use your blinker at least. Tell me you're coming over. I'll back off a little bit. I don't know. maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm becoming grumpy old man, but I really don't think so. I just think it's a matter of common decency. Or yeah, the guy this one always drives me nuts in traffic. Like you're coming up on an exit, right? And
Right.
you see the guy behind you, he's kind of creeping up on you. And then all of a sudden he's just got to whip around you and cut in front of you, right? So he can get to the exit before you. It's like, I'm not even going there, dude. Why couldn't you have just waited another 30 seconds and then taken the exit from behind me? But what do I know? Again, it's all flibbity flab back in my
Yeah,
day.
right.
Yeah. So um I don't know. And that's what I know. There's so many things that trigger so many people out there, and I see people out there watching. So I want to know. Type in on the chat what you think is what's the one thing that sets you off here, and let us know because again, we brought up very, very simple, basic facts. I mean, is there something like what is a pet peeve of yours, Brian? What like the one thing like maybe doesn't do it for a lot of people, but for Brian, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Um, Gosh, I don't know. I mean, obviously being a car guy, it's probably something car related. I would say, I would say I've coined a phrase and a word for it, but it's the super gappers. Like when you're on the freeway and everybody's trying to cruise at either at speed limit, maybe a little bit above, and there's some guy in the fast lane doing some number of speed, but he creates this gigantic gap between him and the next car in front of him, making it impossible for you to get around him to enter that gap and keep going. And I find that just so annoying because it's like, I realize that you wish everybody else would go the speed limit like you, but we don't. And it's not your job to play, road warrior or traffic cop, and it's just I find that one to be supremely annoying. And then ultimately, that's about it. I mean, because to me, I definitely push the speed limits when I can, and if everybody else around me is doing the same, fine. Then
Yeah,
I'm going to join the crowd, But if
absolutely.
then every once in a while, you in that group that's going, I don't know. Let's say you're in a 65 mile an hour zone, and everybody's going 73 to 75, and all of a sudden you catch up to the next group or to that guy that's got the super gap going and he's going 67, and you're
Ah,
like, dude, get over, let us
right.
by. It's not personal, just move over. But in his head, he's doing something. I was talking to my mom and she said that she had this coworker. She used to work for Ford Credit here in town,
Uh,
and she had this coworker. She was behind on the way to work, and the coworker was just driving 65, just fully blocking the fast lane. And my mom actually went around her and kind of cut her off and cut into work. And she said they all got clocked in, and on their first break, she walked over to her desk. She's like, "What are you doing driving like that?"
oh my God, no way. You went on full
Yeah.
on confrontation.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, it
that is
wasn't like,
awesome.
yeah, but it wasn't angry or anything. She just was kind of like, she's, well, the speed limit's 75, and I just didn't want other people to be speeding. She's like, that's not your job. Get out of the road. Get over. Well, so, and this is, of course, you have to remember, we lived in Germany for almost 4 years, so my
Oh
mom
yeah.
understood Autobahn. Man, if you do not get over, I'm telling you, those dudes will literally follow you off the freeway and get into a shoving shouting match with you on off the exit. I've seen it happen.
Serious? No
Dude, those
way.
guys are serious about driving. You make your pass and you get over because the guy in the Porsche or the Beamer or whatever is on your rear end flashing his lights. He wants to go faster than you going.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
and I fully respect that. I mean, well, of
yeah.
course, but there's those people that don't, and I get it. But man, you seem like full on fist fights, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not really. Well, I guess I technically have, when I was a kid living there, I did see a couple of punches thrown. Most everything I've seen has just been mostly, kind of shoving and just kind of heated screaming more than
Right,
anything
right.
else, you know.
Yeah. Wow, that's that. Well, but yeah, I mean the Autobahn, and I've heard that. So oh no, I was reading in a book um, by Neil Peart. He was talking about when he it was about him and when he goes on bike rides with his he has a motorcycle, drives a BMW motorcycle, and he goes out and just goes touring while he's on tour.
Right.
And he was talking about driving on the Autobahn, and even on a motorcycle, he said guys will just come flying up on you, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm pegging it on my motorcycle, and there's these guys in the Maseratis and Porsches and Beamers, and
Right.
they're just because I mean honestly, I mean, and I don't know this from experience, but I'm sure you do. The Autobahn is smooth. It's made to drive. It is
Oh,
like
heck
a
yeah, it is.
racetrack. And I mean I think that's awesome because it's like the super trains. The super trains were designed to go super fast and boom, like the ones over in China and stuff like that. I mean the rails are way more high tech. The whole setup of the train is way high tech, and it moves fast and it gets you there efficiently, just like the Autobahn. It's a simple process. You put on the best quality stuff out there, so that way you can go. And if you ain't gonna go, make sure you're out of the way. And yeah, I mean, I would really, and I know everybody says, oh, I want to go drive the other one. I want to go drive it. I don't think I want to go balls out nutsy on it, but I would love to just drive it just because I've heard how wonderful of a drive it is. I mean, my dad even told me about it. He went and rented a car when he was over in Europe
Uh-huh.
and said it's absolutely amazing. He's like, but I was scared to death because of the people flying through.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, he's
I mean, you don't have a lot of accidents because people are respectful for the most part with each other.
right.
But um, you also have to remember that when they do have accidents, they're kind of rough. They're kind of rough because you got cars that were just going 140. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Or what? Well, I guess in kilometers that would be what, almost 280,
Yeah.
280 kilometers a mile or per hour. Yeah. So, see, and then now, okay, let's just do this little route for a second. What are the little differences between America and Europe? Let's just do that. How about America and the rest of the world? What are the cool little differences from Europe to America? And yeah, I know you've been there, so and you've also been South America, right? Uh,
Uh-huh.
Brazil?
Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Brazil, and I
Okay.
traveled to quite a few other countries that are bordering the country. But yeah,
Right. Okay.
Paraguay and Argentina and things like that.
Well, okay. So you've got a little more firsthand knowledge than obviously I, because well, I've been nowhere. So I'm gonna live through your eyes. What are some of the unique differences? Okay, let's just go with South America because that's obviously a lot more fresher for you. What are the cool little differences down in South America compared to North America?
I repeat that again. What's the difference between what's the obvious differences between South and
What?
North America?
No, the cool little differences. What are the
Oh,
things?
oh.
I mean, hey, America, what?
Well,
I'd say you
okay.
got
So
freedom to
so
vote, but your vote doesn't count here,
yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
So okay. So here's I mean, it's actually true. The toilets do actually flush in the opposite direction. So that's for real underneath, below the equator. Um,
I
and
But see, in America, we'd make a motor that would spin that around the other way just to make you feel at home.
we could probably. But anyway, so there's that. I mean, the 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 friendliness of the people in general is very, very different. I mean, your neighbors. You've talked to your neighbors. You probably know them by name, and you've already probably brought stuff to them, and they've brought stuff for you.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I've
uh,
heard it's a much tighter community, is what you're saying. More. Now is
yeah,
that just?
it's a what's that?
I was just gonna say. Now is that just kind of like a neighborhood thing, or is that like a whole little town kind of community
No,
kind of thing?
I think, I mean, in general, it's kind of the people in general. But of course, my experience was a little bit different because I was a foreigner, and so I was kind of an anomaly and amusement for people.
Oh,
And
I
because I mean, because I'm a tall blonde guy, and that's kind of fairly rare down there. Part of the country I lived in did have a lot of German and Italian influence, but
uh,
I was still significantly taller than a lot of people. Um, and of course, it took me a while to lose my accent, and so before then, it was even more so because they'd be like, "What the? I don't even understand what you're saying. What are you saying?" And they were totally jovial about it, but whatever. So, and then the other interesting thing I think is, food. Definitely, they've got some really awesome food. And if nobody's ever been to a Brazilian barbecue, churrascaria, dude,
mm.
if you like meat, prepare yourself. It is incredible. So, typically speaking, they have about 25 different meats constantly on rotation. And so you sit down there, you go to this awesome buffet. Don't get tricked by it and only get a little bit of stuff because it's usually really good. But then there's a gaucho or a cowboy guy that comes around with all this meat that's been roasting over an open flame, and he puts it down onto your table. And you have little tongs, and you point to a section on the meat that's on the spit that's at your
Oh yeah,
table and
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
I want a piece from here, and they cut it off for you, and you put it on your plate, and you eat it, and he comes back around, and it's various forms of roast and steak and chicken and fish and all that kind of stuff. Really rad stuff.
Oh yeah. There is a restaurant out here in Kansas City that I think there's two of them. I've been to one of them. I think it was like my fourth date
What?
or fifth
So
date with my
so
wife.
is one of them Texas do Brazil?
No, no.
Okay,
I can't.
Tucanos,
It's
Tucanos,
mm,
or maybe Rodizio.
maybe.
Yeah, those are the three I know of that are kind of franchisee
Uh,
type things.
oh no, these are all unique. They're their own restaurant. They're not one is down in the what they call the plaza, which is right in downtown. Which is if you ever come to Kansas City, you got to go to the plaza. A very touristy attraction, but all the fountains and stuff very cool. Okay, so I plugged Kansas City, blah blah blah. But yeah, there's one down there that's very high end, very showy and stuff like that. But the one we went to was up on the northern end of town, and we had both, we're like, oh yeah, let's go try it. We've heard good things. We went there,
Oh,
and it was interesting.
oh,
It
so it's
wasn't the
I just looked it up for you. It's Fogo de Chão,
yes,
Brazilian steakhouse. So that
yes,
one's
yes.
high end, and
It's
then
the
the other
high
one
end
is
one.
right, and then they have the
M
Chamas
M
Brazilian Grill.
Champas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
And that was the one that was, yeah. I mean, the food was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
but we were kind of expecting a little more because it was kind of pricey. But
yeah, yeah.
but I mean, I've heard the one down in the plaza. It is worth every penny, and the service and everything was great. Um, it's more of a show. It's more very flourish, and I'm trying not to say flair like it's got flair and oh my god, it's exciting and there's fire and this no. I'm just it was a show. It was how when you pay a certain price, you expect a certain amount of service and whatever presentation, I guess. And
Right, exactly.
especially coming from a restaurant. Part of my life was a restaurant background. I have several careers. I think I've discussed before, but radio, construction, and restaurant, and well, trucking, but or transportation, I should say more. But anyway, so yeah, but yeah, it was really cool, and it was cool to experience. I definitely want to go the one down in the plaza and experience that one for sure. Um, so it's like when you go to certain of the hibachi restaurants or whatever, where they do the
Yeah.
open table and stuff. There's guys, that like put on the show, you know, and I mean, it's like, I mean, every time there's food being served, you're like, yeah, and the chef's doing all his little tricks and flipping the shrimp around and stuff. Have you ever done that? Have,
Uh, I don't know.
when
Maybe.
they try and flip the shrimp at you and you catch it in your mouth?
Yeah, I've been to I can't remember the name of the place, but yeah, I've been to something like that there where they have kind of a, kind of a show and a, whatever kind of, I can't remember. I guess there used to be a place called Benihana's that kind of was like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then there's
absolutely.
and then there's a lot of just like non-chain styles that do that as well.
Yeah, and yeah, it's more it's become very common nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and just I'm just gonna throw this out there. Don't try and catch the shrimp when you're pretty hammered because it can go south very quickly. Um, and you can really embarrass yourself and your date and anybody else pretty much around you. So because you think, oh, I'm gonna go baseball and hit the wall and dive for the shrimp that's not even close to me, and it was actually intended for the guy two doors down. But um, live and learn. Um, so yeah, and I think that kind of stuff. I think that's really a great. It's like when you go to a 5-star dining place. You know, I took I've been to one before where the the woman I was with had never been to any kind of fine dining at all, and we were sitting there, and she dropped her fork, and she goes down to reach for it. I'm like, don't do it, just it's fine. And a guy was right there, picked it up, had already brought her a new fork, and I'm like, that's what we're here for. This is
Yeah.
what we're
That's
paying
what you're
for,
paying for.
right?
Well,
And
when I first moved here to Colorado,
uh-huh.
or I guess back from having lived in Brazil, I worked at a fine dining restaurant here called Sarasota's, if you
Oh,
remember
okay.
that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
worked there for a while and made some. I mean, I made such good money. I
Oh
mean, it was
yeah.
just. I
Oh,
bought my first house on tips.
did you really?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I am not surprised. Like a place like Sarasota. Now, have you ever been to the Pepper Tree out there in Colorado Springs?
Uh, I don't think it's still open anymore,
Oh,
but I do
really?
remember hearing about it. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think so.
that was one of the places I went. That's one of the places I was talking about. I was like, don't do it because seriously, there's guys waiting on the wall, just standing there waiting for something for them to do, and that's what they did. You drop a fork, boom, here you go. It's like the guy in Mr. Deeds. I am very
Right.
sneaky. Yeah, he's just like, whoa, where'd you come from? Oh, God, you're good at that. So yeah. But yeah, wow, we went from what pisses you off to fine dining just like that. See, that's why
Yeah.
it's called the Random Christian Show, baby. Yeah. Ah, all right.
Well,
Um, and just wanted to say, I know my computer hates me, and and that was part of the title of the show is why does my computer hate me? But it once it came up, wow.
so so
Yeah.
did you have sort of a forced upgrade? Is that what happened on your computer?
Well, yeah, and see, I again, like I said, I thought I had it set for 3 a.m., which is normally when I'm at work and not dealing with the computer at all. Well, no, I hit 3 p.m. instead of 3 a.m. So,
Ah,
and right as I came down, because I usually, when I come home from work on the days that we're getting ready to do the show, first thing I do is I come in, I get the studio all set up and ready to go, and make sure everything's working fine. And I came to click my computer. The screen was dark, which never really is. It's always got some kind of picture showing and yada yada yada. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, great, my computer's broken. All of a sudden, the little thing pops up and goes, do not turn the power off. You are at 2% of an update. I'm like, what?
You're like,
And I was,
no.
oh, and I'm like, oh, well, 2%, it shouldn't be that bad. Yeah. Well, it was at 2% for almost 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden it would jump, and I'm like, oh, good, it's working great. And then all of a sudden it would just lock up again, and then it would turn off, and then come back on, and then go back to another update. And it was like, oh! So yeah, that's when I finally I'm like, I'm going to the iPad, because they said you can do it from an iPad or even an iPhone. Not so much. So yeah, technology lied to me again. Um, which, I'm kind of becoming used to in a way. Sadly,
I know, right?
I'm not sure. I keep getting suckered in. It's like, yeah, we'll give you this free trial. All you got to do is just listen to this and do this, and next thing you know, I'm $60 in debt to this company for just checking yes, and I'm an idiot for doing so. So that's why I don't do that stuff anymore, and get myself in trouble with my wife. So, but anyway, so what else grinds your gears there, Brian?
Yeah, plenty of things grind my gears, but I think we've covered them decently. I mean, I don't want to get
Yeah.
too negative.
Oh,
It's,
hey, Paul here is putting up his pet peeve is bicyclists that refuse to stay single file and don't stay close to the right-hand edge of the road. Oh, yes, Paul. Oh, good Lord, that would drive me bonkers. And it does. And you know what he's talking about? It's like you get the guys, and dude, I love biking. I love riding my bike, and that was my main source of transportation actually out in San Luis Obispo for quite some time. And I was always very respectful of the cars and stuff. But yeah, you get those guys that think they're a car and just kind of swerve through traffic, or you get the three guys and they're all riding side by side, taking up more than a lane and a half or whatever. It's like, really, man? And then they look at you like, what's your problem? It's like, oh, you know what my problem is? I'm not putting my foot down on the gas pedal fast enough. So let's move you to the sidey. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that kind of stuff drives me bonkers. But I mean, like I said, I've been the guy on the bike though, so that's why I kind of relate to that. It's like I tried to show respect and be cool because
yeah.
I've been the guy in the car going, dude, what you doing? And so yeah, excellent point, Paul. Good one. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Well, and that isn't actually. I mean, it's stupid for the bicyclist as well, because I mean the risk factors for you having somebody who's not paying attention and pissed off at you is
Right.
worse than somebody who's ticked off and is paying attention to you. Because it's like the guy that's ticked off is still going to go around you probably, but the guy that has no clue and you're in his lane. Yikes, dude. And I mean, think about how many times you hear about, bikers getting clipped and otherwise. I mean, it's scary stuff. I really prefer, I mean, I would rather take my chances dropping a rock garden on my mountain bike than, hey, Donnie, did you hear that? Mountain bike. Anyway, yeah, Donnie champion.
Yes.
But I mean, I'd rather drop through a 15-foot stair step rock garden than really honestly ride along the highway. I used to hang out with a bunch of guys in San Diego, and I ended up getting myself a road bike because these guys would go bike, from about San Diego, UC San Diego and La Jolla, all the way up Highway 1 to Oceanside and back. You do it on a Saturday. It's a couple hours long. It was great. But I mean, so many close calls. I'm just like, this is just not my thing. I'd
Yeah.
rather ride on the dirt and come home with a scraped up knee rather than come home in a body bag.
Right. Oh yeah. And seriously, yes. Little Lemmy here, Lemmy Killmeister. The For me, and I get the appreciation of road racing and stuff like that, but for me, there's nothing for funner and more exhilarating than being in the dirt on a mountain bike or on a BMX bike or on riding the trails, man. I think it's just so much more. It's kind of like the whole difference between motorboating and sailboating. There's a pureness about it. There's more of a
Yeah.
oneness with it. And I mean, I don't mean to be all holistic or whatever you want to call it, or hippie out, but uh, man, there's something about going on a trail and shredding through it, and maybe catching little jumps here and there, or blasting through some trees on a nice fire road or something. That whole
Yeah.
kick, dude, that's so exhilarating. As to where, I mean, I get the speed. I mean, remember we used to do the basin racing back in the old days. It's Highway 9. It's called Big Basin Road, and we'd kind of build bikes to just go. It's straight downhill and it's super curvy. Did you do a bunch of that at all, Bry?
I did.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I mean,
Well,
I know
if you
we all.
remember junior high school, we had a BMX team.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah. And
with Danny Oakley.
Yeah. So
Yep.
with the whatever you want to call it, with the um, sorry, my wife is asking me a question and I'm trying to use sign language. So, but on the basin racing things, you
You
we
took an
would
old
modify
Schwinn.
our bikes. Yeah, take an old Schwinn and you'd cut the handlebars down a little bit and
Yep.
make them really narrow so you could tuck in and go screaming down the road. It was awesome.
Yeah, you made it like a
Crazy
cafe
and
racer.
dumb.
Oh, dude, stupidest thing ever. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was great. It was. Oh man, you want to talk about a rush. But yeah, pretty much some of the dumbest things I've ever done, because we would weave in and out of traffic with that stuff. And oh god, who was it? Somebody I remember. I think it was actually Ed DeRay. Um, he and I and a few other people had gone up. Was it Ed? Anyway, uh, this guy for some reason, and plus, we were not in the right frame of mind, probably. Well, no, I know we weren't. But man, he started bombing this down the hill and weaving in, and I mean, seriously, cut. This is a 2-lane road, okay, with occasional passing lane here and there, and it would. I got scared to death. I actually just kind of slowed down and was like, this is really starting to sketch you. I mean, it's like all of a sudden I started realizing how crazy we were and what we were doing, and just said, okay, well, that's cool. I'm having a good time, and I'm gonna live, and I'm gonna let these guys beat me down the hill, and I'll meet them down there, and then I'm gonna ride my bike home, and
And lived to do it again.
live to do many other stupid things. And it's so funny because of course we all know the show Jackass, and I'm pretty sure that back in our day, if we had cell phones, we would have been the originators of Jackass on many different levels. Some of
Yeah.
the things we used to do. So uh, I'm just very, very glad we did not have the social media access that we do today.
I know,
Uh,
because I think it makes you want to go bigger and crazier and all that kind of stuff.
well, yeah, there's that.
The
There's the old saying, "Hold my beer," and here we go.
Dude, they keep walking out of this office and turning off the lights on me. Holy cow!
Dude, that's what's that like the third time now?
I know.
Oh, I'm
The,
sorry, dude, but
the yeah,
that's family, dude. That's family.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Nobody cares about you for real.
No, yeah, you're just dad in the office talking to the crazy guy on the other end of the camera there. Um, I just, yeah, you gotta love it, man. Um, so yeah, oh yeah, the old well, you're doing what? Well, hold on a second. Give me just a second here, and I'm gonna show you how I can do better than that. And
Yeah,
yeah,
the one-upmanship.
oh dude, and yeah, and I don't know what it is about us that we have to always seem to want to just go that little extra step, you know? Well, and I mean, it's competitiveness, but there's a point where it's like, okay, you're just really being a jackass, and I'm gonna let you. Okay, it's like on Name That Tune. I can name that song in 3 notes. We'll name that tune. You know,
Aren't they
because
bringing that show back?
oh my gosh, that would be. I actually loved that show.
Yeah,
I mean,
I actually think they're bringing it back. I remember seeing something, and I don't know if it's. I think it's on like a, sort of some odd sub
oh,
station or whatever. But I'm pretty sure I saw something about it.
I could totally see that. And you know who would be great on that would be Wayne Brady.
Yeah,
I think Wayne Brady would be awesome for that show. But yeah, he's on like Let's Make a Deal. Really? I don't know. That seems kind of a waste. But anyway, dude, when I was a kid, I was mesmerized by that show, and I'd get so mad when I couldn't name songs that all of a sudden, like, and the people that do it in like 3 notes, really, or it's like 2 notes
I
even.
know. It's like, yeah,
And I mean, I've actually done it, but of course I'm at home, and I'm a kid and I'm not winning the $5,000 or whatever. But it was like, and it's weird how all of a sudden it would just like, pop in your head. You're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh,
what?
excuse me, but yeah.
It's the link to
Oh,
watch. So they've already got a season 1, episode 1. So I don't know how many episodes there are, but there you go.
box, folks. There you go. And that looks like what's that girl's name? I don't know. Yeah, dude, nice
Uh,
pool. All right. Uh, now I'm
Anyway,
stuck.
yeah,
Yeah, so there
looks
we
like
go.
a whole season.
Nice. All right. Well, now I'm gonna have to be
Wow.
watching. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, I can't let my daughters see it.
now you
Oh,
get to lose.
they will be addicted like me. I promise you. I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad, how'd you do that? Of course, I've been able to do that ever since that show, but it was like, it's like how like you hear music in the background, but you only hear just a little blip of it, and you're like, oh, that's
Yeah,
that, and then people are like, how'd you know? Well, I'm way older than you, and I've listened to a lot of music, so yeah, and I listen to a lot of it over and over and over again. So yeah, you just happen to know certain sounds of songs after a while, and so I just make people shut up. But all right, well there we go, and man, we just took that like so. This is the epitome of the Random Christian show. We went from what pisses you off to Name That Tune, and everywhere in between, because we went around the world. We went down to South America, Brian. Me and
yeah.
you went down there, and we did it. And yeah, so uh, how's this? Oh, and you've got an upset puppy.
Yeah, he's
Is it?
well. There's probably a delivery about to be made,
Ah,
or hang on. Oh, we've got a friend of a daughter that's at the door.
ah,
And
gotcha.
And of course, the dog is just all he cares about is attention. Useless as a watchdog.
Oh well,
Useless.
yeah, but hey, they're fun to pet, and they'll drool on you, so it's all good. All right, my man. Well, dude, thank you so much for hanging with me and coming on here. I know we had a couple other guys, Joe and Matt, but Matt was really, he wasn't able to really be on. I kind of forced him on, but, which I didn't realize because he was like talking, and then apparently he was like, no, I'm in the middle of playing video games with my wife. Like, oh, sorry, dude. And then I guess you and Joe were having a conversation I was completely not a part of while the feed was going in and out. So that was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, dude, Joe is awesome. He's my money man. He's incredibly brilliant with money. So just became a top 40 trader on E-Trade and stuff. He's yeah. I can go on
That's
and on
cool.
about Joe, but you'll get to talk to him here soon. But I'm gonna let you go. I know it's getting late out there. It's getting late out here, and I, I appreciate everybody tuning in and checking out with us. Thank you so much, Brian. Hopefully, I get you here next Tuesday.
Yep, sounds
Yep.
good. I'll look forward to it and keep you posted. I mean, obviously, I'm in the drive mode a lot, going here and
Yes.
there, picking things up and delivering. So
Yep. And well, hey, hopefully you're not snowed in by Tuesday, so you'll be able to get out. Unless,
yeah,
of
right.
course, it doesn't snow at all and yeah, it just rains.
Yeah, as cold as it is outside, I don't think we're getting rain.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, good luck, my man. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you
thanks.
so much for being here with us, bro. Really appreciate you, my man.
Hey, no problem. Glad to be here. Thanks.
All right. Have a beautiful weekend, my friend. And for everybody that did tune in, so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Paul, thanks for chiming in. You guys feel free to always chat with us through the sites you're watching on. We're going to be back Tuesday. Should have the whole crew with us. Make sure you're taking care of each other. Thank you again. Chicken poop, lip junk. Yeah, that's right. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Chicken poop, lip junk. You're going to sponsor us. I'm telling you, out of Wichita, Kansas, check them out. They're on the web. They're on that. Dead Campers on Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you check them out as well. We got USA Combi VW. Check them out. That's Brian's site for all the VWs you need. And Toyota Land Cruisers, old Toyota Land Cruisers. Those are awesome. Maddie's Photos. I'm at KJ VoiceWorks. Our show is at the randomkristianshow@gmail.com. Okay, send us your ideas, thoughts, inquiries, hate mail, love mail, whatever you got. Send it our way. We want to hear from you, and we will be back next week, and hopefully Donnie Champion from the Dead Campers is going to be on finally. He keeps waving in and out here, but that's the way Donnie is. So until then, take care of yourself. We're all we got. So take care of each other. All right. Peace out, guys. Have a wonderful